1 year ago, I quit my full-time job and I became an independent tech creator. And in my very first year, I made $151,570.47. Now I'm gonna break down where every cent of that came from. But first, I wanna tell you how it started. I went into debt.
Oh man, all right, here we go.
On August 28th, 2024, I announced that I was leaving The Verge in my very first independent YouTube video.
I no longer work there.
In case you don't know, The Verge is a tech publication that I had made YouTube videos for the last 7 years. My plan in leaving was to take at least a little bit of the YouTube audience I had grown while there and start a channel of my own. And when I decided to do that, I had $7,000 in savings and no real path to an income stream. I was not monetized on YouTube, I had no Patreon, no merch, I had never brokered a brand deal, and I was terrified.
Here goes nothing.
What I knew I could do though was make a YouTube video every week. So that's what I did.
Rolling.
I was having a great time making stuff for just me, answering to no one, but by my 5th video posted, I'd also lost a lot of money. I had rent, a car payment, health insurance, student loans, living expenses, gear expenses, and on top of all of that, I had to buy a brand new iPhone so that I could review it. By the 6th video mark, my bank account was really low, and nothing sucks creativity out of you quite like not being able to pay your bills. It wouldn't be until my 7th video that I finally got a bit of income as an independent creator. That was when I got my very first YouTube monetization check for $1,663.48. It was also right around that time that I signed a management deal. This is my manager, Cam.
You're seeing footage from a brand trip that we took together last spring.
Signing with the manager was an incredibly tough decision for me. I was someone who had just spent 7 years making content for someone else. I walked away owning none of it. So for better or for worse, I'm just incredibly protective over my brand. But within the first 2 months of doing YouTube, I realized that I'm just not a business person. Like, there are creators who do YouTube for the business, and that's amazing. I'm just not one of those people. I do it because I want full creative control. I just want to make stuff. And so I knew I needed to find somebody who could do more of the business work for me. And since Cam and I have been working together, I have taken home, that means after his commission, $113,483.55, which made up 75% of my income last year. The process goes like this. Cam does his Cam stuff, and then he brings me potential partners. I like to use products before I recommend them to you, so I usually try to get a product in, use it for a bit. If I like something, that's when I start making a 60 to 90 second ad spot that'll go in my content, and once the brand approves, it gets slotted into a video, and then you see it. This video sponsor is Ecovacs. I've actually been using the robot vacuum since last March, so it was like a no-brainer, yes, I wanna work with you. And here's what the final product looks like. There is nothing more satisfying than watching your little robot vacuum do all of your work for you.
I think I might have a problem. I'm obsessed with this thing.
This is the Ecovacs X11.
Look at the mop lines. This is like my favorite part.
It's got all the great Ecovacs features that I've come to love, like wet and dry cleaning, depending on what surface it's on, and a brush and a mop that can extend into corners. But the X11 has a few new features, like power boost charging that can give you 6% charge in just 3 minutes while it washes its mop, and a bag-free design. And because of it, you no longer have to spend hundreds of bucks a year on disposable dust bags. You just pop this thing out, empty it, and put it back in, and then watch it get back to work.
Still doing so good.
There's a link in my bio for the new Ecovacs X11, but there's also a link to a Google form where you can enter to win one for yourself. Just put your name and email in, I'll be picking a winner at random in a week. And don't worry, I'm not gonna spam you with emails. Hell, I'm not even gonna save it. I just need a way to get a hold of you if you win. Thank you Ecovacs for sponsoring this video. Now back to the show. So while brand deals do make up a majority of my income, they're not the only way I make money. Let's talk YouTube. Since going independent, I've published 43 videos on this YouTube channel. And out of all of them, my highest earning was my 33rd video, my bike trip video. It got over 300K views and made me over $1,400. And the video that made me the least amount of money was my Game Boy camera video. That only has 46K views, and it only made me 74 bucks. What's interesting about those two videos though is that they're what I call me videos. So of course, as a creator, I make content that I think will perform well. But I also promised myself a year ago that once a quarter, I'd make a video that was just for me. It was about a topic that I wanted to explore. And yes, one of them actually filled my bank account, but more so than that, both of them filled my emotional bank account, my creative bank account.
This is so beautiful.
So yes, serve your audience, but don't forget to serve yourself too. And take risks, of course. Overall, in 1 year, I've made $15,513.84 via YouTube monetization, which makes up 10% of my income. Another income stream for me is Patreon. Over there, I post all my videos completely ad-free, I have a chat, and I also do a weekly newsletter that's filled with what I'm working on, what I'm thinking about, what I'm reading, watching, listening to. The newsletter has turned into this amazing way of documenting where my mind's at, and it's also just been such a great way to practice my writing. I think everybody should have a newsletter, even if it's like just for yourself or your friends or your family. It's just like a really easy, good way to stay creative. There are currently 287 of us on Patreon, and if you're one of them, you know I appreciate you to no end. In total, Patreon has brought in $10,275.27 in 1 year, which was just shy of 7% of my total income. The last 8% of my income, or $12,298, is a mix of award money that I've won, some speaking gigs I've done, and affiliate linking. All right, so that's everything I brought in, but of course the other side of the story is expenses. When you own a business, you pay for a business. So of course I get gifted and lent a lot of tech. I get taken to a lot of locations, but I also have to pay to get a lot of places. I have to buy a lot of tech, and then there's gear, of course. I also live in the US, so there's health insurance, taxes, and then all creatives know the Adobe Creative Suite. All right, that was a look back. Now let's look forward. Over the summer, I was approached by this guy. This is Jonas. He's an incredible designer, and after many video calls and drafts and texts and notes, he came up with this. Welcome to the new look of my YouTube channel. It was incredible working with Jonas. He gave me many different options and different ways that we could go, but ultimately I felt like this was bold, it was true to life, it felt natural, and it just felt like me. And I am so excited to rep this. It's not quite live yet because there's a couple things that I still need to do, but it will be coming out soon. If you are in need of any sort of branding work, I will link Jonas's website down below. 10 out of 10, cannot recommend him enough. There's also some merch that's gonna be coming, but I'm picky as all hell, and like this logo is like too high to the top, and then like this one, the little bird emblem on the front is just like, I think it's just like too big, although I love the color of the shirt. So yeah, there's merch coming. There's even this like pink, which I like never thought I would like a pink shirt, but this is sick. So make sure you're subscribed, and you'll know when it's coming out.
Let's go.
Lastly, I want to rapid fire some lessons that I learned this year, because wow, I learned more in this year than I think I have in maybe any year of my life. First, it's okay to say no, but you also need to say yes a fair amount too. Now that I'm not at The Verge, inherently people don't just like want to work with me. So I need to show up at brand trips and at events and really allow people to get to know me more. 2, take more breaks. I went so hard when I started this YouTube channel, and I don't regret any of that, but the emotional roller coaster keeps running, and sometimes you need to stop and be with that for a bit and allow yourself to take a breath. 3, take more risks. The bike video was a huge risk. I didn't think that I could even make it to Rochester on a bike, so that in of itself was a risk, and then filming it all and making a video around it, just the most fun, my favorite video I've ever made. Okay, now it's your turn. If you have anything you want to see more of, if you have helpful, constructive feedback, I am all ears. And lastly, if you have a dream, keep it calculated. Don't pursue it just because you want to, although you should want to. Do it because it feels like it's the right time and you feel like you're ready, but then do it. Pursue it with all that you have. I appreciate you so much, and I'm about to say a line that I didn't always know would be true, but I said it at the end of every video anyway, and it feels that it is true now because of you. I'll see you on the next one, bud.